Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. And today let's talk about how failure is just embarrassing. All right, so one of the things that's become normal life these days during the lockdown is the evening walks. Right, I've been walking so much since lockdown started that it's actually kind of nice. It's very peaceful. I think I'm a lot less stressed than I was before. So I'm trying something different here. I've got the picture-in-picture here, and so you guys can see where I'm walking and what I'm doing. And I thought, yeah, just for a little bit of a change. So today I want to talk about failure. Failure is embarrassing, which is like, duh, no brainer. Like everybody knows that. Everybody who's ever done anything from the first time they stepped into school at a kindergarten or nursery, they know that failure is embarrassing, and it just is. And it stops us from doing so many things, and it stopped me from doing so many things in my life. And I think if there's one big regret that I have is the fear of embarrassment. Stopped me from doing a lot of things I wanted to do. It stopped me from starting doing YouTube videos. It stopped me from doing my first app. My first app. So let's talk about that a little bit tonight. So my first app idea wasn't my own application. It was, I was working at a consultancy and I wanted the owner of the consultancy to do an application, right? And he would say, why should we do an app? And I say, because it would be cool. And I kept on him about it, saying, we need to do apps. We need to start doing applications. And ultimately what I wanted him to do was almost fund my education there. Like I was trying to convince him that it was really cool, that we really need to be doing this. We were really missing out because we weren't producing apps at the consultancy. And he was really like, he didn't really see a reason to do it. So in the end, I did it on my own and I released my first application. And then that's how all of this kind of stuff started with Overpass and all that kind of stuff, which is nice. Oh, so he's walking this way. Which is cool, right? But it was scary. It was scary to get started, mainly because of the embarrassment of it all, right? I spent a lot of money, but at the time what I thought was a lot of money, but it was really only like £4,500. It was like £3,000 for the Android version of an application, and they charged me like another $1,500 for the iOS version. And in the end, they ended up asking for more money because they just kept messing things up, and it was like really a bad first experience working with an Indian company. Actually, to be honest with you, the first application, I started to code it myself, like a lot of my clients have. A lot of my clients come to me and they say, I started trying to do this myself, but in the end, I just need somebody else to do it. And I was kind of the same. It wasn't so much that I lacked the skill, it was more that I lacked the time and just the motivation to get it done. So I released the application. I remember releasing the Android version to the Play Store. We were supposed to release it on the 10th of September, but the developers messed up with something, and they did it the next morning, and it was the 11th of September 11th, which was like, please, it was September 11th, 2012, was like, please don't release it on this day. This is like totally like bad news or whatever. I don't like a bad omen to release it on September 11th. But anyway, so later that day, I was like in the office and I was like just kind of looking at it, nothing really happening. And I got home, I told my son about it, and he says, oh, you got a review, right? And I said, oh, really? What does it say? And it says 1 star, WTF, this sucks, right? And my heart just deflated. It was so embarrassing because I had told everybody I was going to do an app, and that was like that one star review. And so I asked my son, I told this story before, and apologies that I do this. A lot of times I'll tell the same stories, but I'm getting old. So I asked my son, who I guess at the time he was 13. No, he was 15. And I said, could you leave a 5-star, so at least it brings it up to a 3. And he gave me a 3-star, right? He was like, oh, Dad, I don't think it's that good, right? Which is like, typical teenager. But eventually, but so there's a few days there where I was just, walking around feeling like, this is so embarrassing. Everyone, because people started saying, how much money you spend on this? I was like, whatever, $3,000. And it was like, it was embarrassing. But eventually it started to, pick up a little bit. We started to get a bit more downloads. And then I started spending more money on it, fixing some of the things that didn't quite work right. Made it multilingual, added some in-app features, all that kind of stuff. And start, learning how ASO works. I mean, we didn't have any keywords in there. It was just like simple description and 2 screenshots. And in the end, it started to grow slowly, but it took a while, and eventually it started to do. But it changed the whole course of my life, right? And it was just such a big failure to begin with. The reason I'm thinking about failure tonight is because I had just had this situation. I've been working all day, and we just messed up on a project. Nothing major, just kind of one of those, just an embarrassing thing, which happens. Actually, it wasn't really our fault. It was like trying to do too much in a short amount of time. Actually, it was my developers trying to do too much in a short amount of time, which ultimately is my fault for not giving them the time and the to get something done. You know, those tight deadlines creep up and all that stuff. But you know, it happens. But I think a lot of you guys who watch this channel, who I talk to, you're young, right? You're, you know, maybe just getting out of high school, or you're just getting started. Or to me, you know, being 35 is young, right? And I want to say this: you're going to be afraid of failure. You're going to be afraid of being embarrassed. Some people just aren't embarrassed easily, and I envy them so much. I'm embarrassed so easily. But the sooner you can get over that, the sooner you get over that fear, the sooner you can put yourself out there, the sooner, like, if you, whatever it is you want to do, if you want to do an app, if you want to do YouTube videos, if you want to do podcasts, if you want to do, you know, you want to work as a consultant, whatever it is you want to do, you have to get over that embarrassment, because it hits us all and it stings. And even now, after so many years of failures, you know, it still stings, but you know, it happens. That's just what it does. Look at this beautiful view here. This is kind of a weird format today, but anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you're doing healthy and safe during lockdown, and I'll talk to you again next time.